Steve Leisman, CNBC. Thanks for taking my question, Mr. Chairman. The Bank of Canada, in its last policy statement, said monetary policy cannot offset the impacts of a trade war. What it can and must do is ensure that higher prices do not lead to ongoing inflation. I wonder if that kind of reflects your own sense of prioritization faced with higher prices and weaker growth, that the idea is you have to take care of inflation.
You know, so we have two goals, right? We have maximum employment and price stability, and we have to balance those. And, you know, there can be situations in which they're in tension, right? And we actually have a provision in our consensus statement that says what we should do in that case. That's a very challenging, you know, situation for any central bank, and certainly for us. And so what we say that we'll do is we'll look how far each of those two goals is, each of those two measures is from its goal. And then we'll ask how long we think it might take to get back to the goal for each of them, and we'll make a judgment because our tools work in one direction. We're either tightening or loosening. So it's a very challenging situation. Let me say we don't have that situation right now. That's not where the economy is at all. It's also not where the forecast is. I don't know any mainstream forecasts that really show significant problems like that.
Well, just to follow up, yesterday the UCLA Anderson forecast said there's high probability of a recession. Where do you stand on whether or not the slowdown you're seeing creates a higher probability or concern that you may have on recession? Thank you.
You know, there's always an unconditional possibility of a recession. It might be broadly in the range of 1 in 4 at any time. If you look back through the years, there could be within 12 months a 1 in 4 chance of a recession. So the question is whether this current situation, those possibilities are elevated. I will say this: we don't make such a forecast. If you look at outside forecasts, forecasters have generally raised, a number of them have raised their possibility of a recession somewhat, but still at relatively moderate levels. You know, still in the region of the traditional, because they were extremely low. If you go back 2 months, people were saying that the likelihood of a recession was extremely low. So has moved up, but it's not high.